All right, people, welcome back. Today is the 17th of February, 2022. Maybe some good news. I have three things to give you. I don't have much to give you. You don't need anything else. These are three things that you'll like. Three quotes from discoveries by this guy. And they're going to enable you on an overall, everything put aside, realization again of really what you can do about the whole thing. Your life, and then how about the government? Some things weren't doing so well, got a little worse. Voters stand up, they can vote. So they do have control. You know, the pyramid. Somebody talked about, if you look at the top of the pyramid, the person in charge, one of those situations somewhere where the person at the top is a dictator and they have control. This is a case of a wrong situation. They have control from the top. And somebody said, no, actually they don't. No, it's the thing underneath, the whole thing of the pyramid that has the control and the power, and they just don't have to have that thing on top bluffing anymore. Evolution, by the way, guys, not revolution. So there's three things I'm going to show you. When I show you what they are, you'll realize it's true, because it's not about me or about the author, it's about you. It's your own truth overall. You can just do a wholesale shove everything aside and step up and go. The truckers in Canada kind of did that peacefully. My God, be grateful. Oh, they tried to hang them and label them with those signs of Nazi stuff and, you know, all the BS. That's called false flag, but that's too much of a no-brainer thanks to the internet. You can't fake the stuff. They just caught some guy. They interviewed a guy, a black person, walking along. And they said, understand you witnessed it. Yeah, the guy carrying the Nazi flag was one of the trucker guys saying, they're not going to do that to us, this Nazi stuff, you see? He said, no, we're not going to allow Nazi stuff, you see? But the media was willing to say, oh, well, see, they're Nazis. Then they had a couple, three card tables real long. The police suddenly had see the picture? All these guns, weapons, machine guns, grenades. Oh my God, they're terrorists, right? That they got from the trucks, right? The only thing is, the guy says, you know what? There isn't any footage they have to show they went into the trucks to get it, right? Because the whole agreement was no one's going into the trucks. Yeah, no, they haven't gone into anybody's truck. So if they had footage, oh, they'd have it, right? It's just a real lame version of what they call a false flag, you see. The truckers, bless them, and they didn't get all feisty and nasty. Now, there'll be fringe people that might show up and do wrong stuff. All right, but we're too used to that, you know. So anyway, they aren't January 6th types. They're just truckers. Yeah. Who they'd had enough. I mean, some you see the guy with the wife and the kids in the truck, right? No, they're not there for this trip. No, they live in the truck because they lost their jobs because of all the shutdowns. Over 1 million companies just in the U.S. have closed. There's the big companies, that's one part of the economy, and they have reserves they can hold, but the little ones are hurting, and they supply the big ones. Supply. So anyway, there's two things that we're going to show you how to handle today that the truckers did a bit of. They actually are an example of that, and it's working in spite of the media saying, oh, God, they're arresting. No. The Canada came out and said, okay, that's it. No more lockdown laws, required vaccinations, all this stuff. Let it come back to the rights of the people to choose, as they always have. You know, pretty soon there won't be testing people that don't have symptoms. We've never done that. Anyway, that's fine. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It could be about cows and sheep, and the government says you can't do this, but we should have a right to do that. You know, it doesn't matter the topic. The truckers went out there so peacefully, and they won. And they got the people that were opposing them to win also by realizing they're really no different. There's no difference. And the truckers in their life, not necessarily they, but some people that seem so right in correcting the wrong behaviors, have also maybe done things at times with their kids or something that wasn't right, but they didn't know it. They're misled. Okay, so we're going to show you how to handle your government, right? Yeah. And your own life. Your government and your own life. This is going to be a short talk, okay? Yes. So here's a quote on the back of one of these lecture series cases, DVDs, and then the printed transcripts. Okay. There's just three things, three of these. I'm going to show you three of these that are each about you. Not me, not the researcher, Hubbard, not Scientology. No, they're you. And when you see what they are, you'll agree. And you're going to laugh. And everybody's sort of becoming a trucker for their own life, what the truckers did in Canada for their own life, and to help their government. One, he says, we're trying to rehabilitate the responsibility for the control of the environment in the individual. We're trying to rehabilitate. He didn't say get them the ability. No, rehabilitate. It's there. We're trying to rehabilitate. You see? Reboot. The responsibility for the control of the environment in the guy. We're trying to raise his ability himself to confront actions and reactions. This is very short. What it is, we're trying to raise his ability himself to confront actions and reactions across the boards. Whatever. Has his own life, but how about the other stuff? Okay, good. And if we do that, we've got it made. Hubbard says, okay? Okay. I'm going to give you the second one. This is a series of lectures called a Congress. State of Man Congress. Okay. Really neat. And on the back is a nice quote. Okay, from 1960, around the Kennedy era. Okay, good. Any beings, I'm changing the language, any person, any being has the, and then the quote, has the potential, anyone has the potentiality, this is one of the big three now, my treat to you, about you. Any person has the potentiality of doing anything. My first part I altered. I said person, being, right? But the rest is a quote. Any being has the potentiality of doing anything to correct anything anywhere. And he knows it. And what he does every day is a sin of omission, of inaction, right? In that he doesn't straighten it all out. And that, any case, no matter how honest, is living with at this moment. If you can stand truth, you'll live. If you can't stand truth, you won't. Gee, who does that remind us of? I'm very, very blessed, like the planet suddenly, that the truckers did a little of this. These are the big three. Extracted from lectures this Hubbard guy gave. When you work for 33 years or 38 years out of his pocket, working his guts out, and end up being over half a century, you know what? I suppose he might come up with something that makes sense for those that those that might be desperate to demonize, so that you can't get the rest of you back again. There's no becoming anything. You can't become anything. That's the most insane thing I can say, because you already are. Okay, so those are the first two. And now we're going to give you one that's a little technical. In counseling here, this unpeeling of life's layers we told you about, we'll tell you more about, but really go there and check it out. Go to one of the centers. Go online. And the tremendous filming of the people telling how it worked for them. And who are the people? No, it's you. You won't know they aren't any different than they were before. No. But they'll tell you what it did for them. Oh, man. They still look the same. They got the body. Yeah. Wow. Here's the third one. Okay. We're counseling, in the counseling, against a definition. We're coming back to, getting back again, returning to, whatever that means. We're counseling against a definition. And the definition is, quote, willing and knowing cause over life. Matter over life, matter, energy, space, and time. Which would, of course, include postulates, when you post something, when you declare something will be, you're postulating, you're posting, you're putting a statement out there. So, definition of willing and knowing cause over life, recovering back again, over life, matter, energy, space, and time, which would include postulates, things you declare, cause over those, yours, other considerations, and other beings. And that is the definition of you, of an operating being. Again, what we're processing against, unpeeling life's layers to get back to, is a definition. And the definition of what we return you to is willing and knowing cause over life, matter, energy, space, and time, which would of course include postulates. You learn more about what those are, because everything a person does, they thought of first. They decided to do, they postulated, declare about, for, or toward, that something will occur. That's what a postulate is. So you're going to get back cause over postulates and considerations, because what you consider, what you decide becomes law for you. We get lost, my God. If you only knew what the pile was, you'd be amazed you're still operating, in spite of things that aren't you, but they're yours. Okay? And that's the definition of a person. Yeah. The truckers, I'm going to use them for an example because you know darn well only a small percent need to. They have to close terminals with, snap terminals with junk. Other than those, and the media are glad to give that out in case you might become one of those again. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, here's the part I like. He says anybody, and the truckers did it. Well, there's two other things we want done that will be being done. And the reason they'll be being done is because you're going to go and check it out. Yeah. Any person has the potentiality of doing anything. Well, look at truckers did quite a thing. They gave up their own, nothing to lose. They already lost so much. And they're preventing losing it totally, dying of the virus of starvation because of, let's just call it a mismanagement. Any being has a potentiality of doing anything, to correct anything, anywhere, and he knows it. Truckers know it. I'll use that. And what he does every day is a sin of omission, of not doing it, see? In that he doesn't straighten it all out. And that, any case, no matter how honest, is living with at this moment. You might be good, great, honest, straight, clean in all these other areas, but there's some things, truckers, I'm going to borrow that now. Bless them. By God, they did you a favor. By the way, it went global. It went global. Truckers all over other countries. Before that, the populations were rebuilding because they had a mandated vax for everybody. In the U.S., it became a mandated vax for any company with 100 or more employees or a government employee. In Canada, they blocked truckers from going in and out unless they showed they were vaxxed and maybe they didn't have the thing with them or the kids, whatever. A lot of them had their kids living in the truck with them. Hello? Because you wore it down. They said no more. How sane and peaceful they were. So they did it. They did something about it. Yeah. Yep, they did something about it. Yes. And then this one again said, what we're trying to we're trying to rehabilitate the responsibility for the control of the environment in the individual. Not just his life, but the environment. Maybe we used to. Once you get it back, it's like, piece of cake. Yeah. We're trying to raise his ability himself, the unpeeling of life's layers. That's counseling does, essentially. We're trying to raise his ability himself to confront actions and reactions across the boards, and not just his own life, okay? Because all parts of life are connected. And if we do that, we've got it made, okay? Those are the big three. Yeah. You know what? I like he once said this in organizational coaching. He said, you produce first, then you organize and manage second. Don't just be forever organizing and have meetings and all this stuff. Some great guys have lectured. Yeah. So there you go. Those are the big three. We'll get more to that later where you can find them. Yeah, my God. A lot of this is free online. Soon all their stuff, all their lectures. Yeah. Yeah. They're nonprofit. They want you to have it. I'm just sharing with you my takeaway. And appreciate some people posted online, some Scientologists, some of these, and I thought, wow. Okay. So, go to Scientology TV, okay? Here you are. And get started. And actually, you only need to do even a tiny small part. Why? Because you, in doing that, actually just completely changed your mind. Things coming at you, problems. Is something coming at you? Oh my gosh, right? Wait. There's a chapter called Confront in the book, New Slant in Life. Confront. Or is it Confronting? It's called Confronting. New Slant in Life. Yeah. You can probably pull down the quote. When you have a problem, it's coming at you, your effect. That's a direction. A vector is a direction of energy coming at you. Oh my God, this and that, right? Ouch, oh God. I hurt, I'm in pain, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm hungry, whatever, right? If you decide to look at it, to confront it, now you're coming at it. You're going at it. Instead of being effect, your cause. And when you finally confront and duplicate it, it vanishes. Because there's a law in this universe, they're printed up here. Quote, it's an axiom, by the way. An axiom is a self-evident truth. That means if I let go of the pen, it will fall. And the doing is the proof. You don't have to believe anything. An axiom is a self-evident truth. You see, I let go of it, Mr. Gravity took it down and it fell. Okay, here's axiom number 38. It's in that great book. This great book we told you about. Introduction to Scientology Ethics. And it's in other books. Here it is. This is for you. We're going to go quickly. Problems, right? In order for a problem to persist, that means to keep on or continue, comma, ready? Don't believe it, check it out. In order for a problem to persist, it must contain a lie. That means there's a continuation of it only because there's something that ain't looked at that ain't true. All things that are actually a continued creation of them. And that's fine for the survival-like things. So the big three, we'll repeat them again. But here it is. Ready? Go to the Scientology TV and see these videos. They call them videos. These filmings. Man, you'll be seeing yourself there. There ain't all walks of life. She has a cleaning business, house cleaning. He paints stuff. I don't know what. This other one makes guitars or something. They're just people. They're sitting there giggling. There's no acting. They're interviewing them. You can't make this stuff up. There's no acting. They didn't even change clothes for the interview. They're doing the stuff. I restore stuff. But to tell you the difference in their life of doing just that or something else, yeah. It's not about money people or big money people. That's all a bunch of crap. Even those, it became easier. Yeah. And Hubbard mentioned abundance is the best survival. So there's a free course online, how to improving conditions in life. Google the various courses. Oh God, they're friendly and they're free. And you have a live supervisor, course soup, walking you through. If you push help, you'll find out what a professional is. They know the game, guys, and they're hiring too. Yeah, they are. They're big. So go online. We'll get back to the big three in another talk, okay? I'm just introducing you to something the truckers did. You've done too. Yeah, the Red Cross, we volunteer. They're a fairly worthy disaster relief program. No, they got nothing to do with Scientology. They're just fairly worthy. They just went and took care of it, handing out blankets and coffee, and no matter who was there, they're flooded, doctor, lawyer, engine chief, engineer, mechanic, they're all freezing cold on the rooftop, the old saying with the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Well, she rose, and Katrina, New Orleans, some of the houses are underwater. There's a whole bunch of people sitting on top, right? Yeah? Really? I'd never heard of this, had you? The Cajun Navy. Cajun food in New Orleans, right? Right? If you look at the Gulf of Mexico, looking at it, on this side here, to your left, is Texas, the Texas towns, Brownsville, Houston, all that crap. And in the middle, New Orleans, and over in Alabama, Mississippi, all this stuff, right? That whole arch, right? Those are people, millions. Not just the New Orleans people, no. The floods, New Orleans, right? Millions of people, right? Who's the Cajun Navy? I'll tell you who. They are the backyard boater, the swamp livers, all this stuff, right? They live in the swamp, right? They know it's coming. The hurricane hit and blew things apart, right? But the water aftermath is a problem because that forever low-lying area, and now for the first time with extreme weather, it'll flood, whereas it wasn't flooding before or whatever. The Cajun Navy, they're all set. They got that backyard boat ready to go on the trailer to go to the boat ramp. They got the stuff in it they want, the water, some food, first aid. They know what they're doing. A little bass boat that'll carry 3 or 4. I guess first round there was 600 or 800 of them, right? The government doesn't have. They get a few little rubber boats. The Coast Guard can't get in there. No, this is in the backwaters, right? People are dying, crying, screaming, dying. No problem. They're no problem. There's thousands in the Cajun Navy, and the government's grateful they hooked up. In other words, they did something about it. The government can't do it all. Yeah, so these guys, gotcha. Got your back. Hold my beer. I got this one. Yeah. You can see them lined up to drop in the boat ramp, 4 or 5 boats wide, for over a mile out. Way, way in advance. And they drive hundreds of miles to get to New Orleans in the car to tow the boat. It's called the Cajun Navy. They're hooked up. They're hooked up. Yeah, they're online. Cajun Navy. Good old boys. Redneck Yacht Club, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The backbone. They got you. They save lives. Everybody's a level playing field. They're dying. That house is under, you know? And some died. Yeah. I don't know how many came. The first round, they said, was 600 or 800. Who's that great general, the black guy? Inouye, something like that. No, what was his name? Honore. Honore. General Honore. Here the National Guard was called. They got rifles so there won't be looting. He came and said, hey, what the hell are you doing with rifles? Get rid of those rifles and start helping these people. General Honore, the black guy, you know, Honore, Honore. Yeah, remember that footage? I'll never forget that golden soul. Yeah, the National Guard, our army was there with rifles to shoot looters and stuff. Looters? How about saving lives? Shoot them? Huh, might shoot them? Really? That ain't as bad as killing them. They're dying. Go help them. The Cajun Navy, there they are right there. 600 or 800 of those boats, little nothing backyard boats, gotta tell you. But it came, they have thousands and maybe thousands. I don't know how many showed, so I can't tell you. You can probably look it up. They did something about it. The truckers are doing something. Everything we have, by the way, we're on location, people. We're in the Palm Beach area. Some talking to the camera while they're driving. As I said, we're so righteous and just. We don't do that. We're parked. Probably couldn't do both, walk and chew gum. Anyway, we're happy to share these things with you that someone told me about. And this is my takeaway. So I just wanted to share with you some things going on. And so the Red Cross, they're there, but they can't do it all. We've done fundraisers for the Red Cross. They're an incredibly worthy disaster relief bunch, wouldn't you say? It's a bunch of you guys that volunteer. Yeah, the volunteers aren't employees. They just jump. And Scientology has a bunch of people called the volunteer ministers. Yeah, it's a big group, Scientology, around the world. Yeah, they had 170,000. They're all hooked up like the Cajun Navy kind of. And they just go and add to what the Red Cross is already doing, handing out ice or coffee or food or whatever. Yeah, they got yellow shirts, say volunteer minister. At 170,000, right? No, now it's 1.7 million. That still isn't a lot. Globally, no, they're global. They're soccer moms, mechanics, people, you know, that are all hooked up, business guys, they're all hooked up. When there's a problem, they're self-funded. They just take off. They get on the planes and go. There's all kinds of stuff. Donations waiting for them, you know, food and everything, supplies. So when they land, it's all organized. And they help the people there, the Red Cross, you know, that kind of thing. I like this. We talked about it before. Yeah. By the way, if something's good as a bad, interesting. Fascinates me. I like that Grant Cardone guy. Yeah, he will swing the bat. He's a lecturer. He's a Scientologist. He lectures on get your 10x your business, your income. Whatever your thing is, how to 10x it so you don't have to worry about. I like what Hubbard said. A different topic now, but I like what Hubbard said. He said, "Don't worry if this one paycheck that isn't enough to cover all the bills, comma, just make more. No, not work more hours necessarily the same job. No, whatever. Just make more. Make more. Expand." He says he always has 3 or 4 or more sources for the income he needs, each of which would supply the entire amount. Then you have no pressure. One doesn't work, got them all. Grant Cardone gives a pretty good talk. He's a big lecturer, I guess, to big stadiums full of people and all that. Yeah. He went from a tough life, drug addict, to, hey, the real deal. He helps you out. Yep. He helps you out. So, all you need to do is go to the Scientology TV and get started. Yeah. See what this, check it out. See the lectures on how they help people off drugs and the book of The Way to Happiness and Truth About Drugs. The first ones I've ever seen that have a booklet about each drug and talk some English, not as opposed to foreign language. They actually talk English of what the heck the thing is. Wow. Wow. It's one of the nonprofits they sponsor, yeah. Yeah, the individual members of the Catholic Church, all these different churches, some of them chip in and donate for those booklets. And the Scientology members chip in. You know, whoever, like with the Red Cross, they don't care where you're from. They didn't care where we were from. Couldn't have, you know? No. So people work together, but God darn are they working well. Check out who they are, what they do. Meet a Scientologist. The guy paints houses or something. Another one restores old things, and another one restores spires, those things on top of buildings. Yeah, churches and stuff. Yeah, all over the world. I tell him he's very inspiring. He's really neat. Is it John something? Chang? What's his name? Anyway, I forgot his last name. Pretty cool. Saw him online. Another couple, they make guitars. They make these, they show them chop in the woods, sanding this thing down. Yeah. Another one, baseball bats. Yeah. Yeah, they cut them and file them down. Yeah. They just laugh and tell you the difference in their life. At home with the family, the little business, the job, whatever. With the Scientology, you get rid of stuff. It's a negative gain. Get rid of it. Yeah. All they had, I like it. Somebody summed it up. All they have is one thing. Enable you to find out things that you already know. They don't know what you know. It's not the things you recall, like happy or sad. It's things underneath, and that's what holds people up. So the big three, there they are. We'll give them again. But go to one of the centers and see what this stuff is. They're in most of the cities. They bought some old buildings. The members, like it was a Lutheran for so long, we chip in and put a wing on the people of the town. That's their church. Put a wing into some classes for the kids. Okay, yeah. So they bought these old buildings, each area of the town, of the city, Scientology, they bought some old building, they fix them up, it takes 2.5 years, it's one, and we talked about it's in Tampa. There's an old cultural center called Ybor City, Y-B-O-R. It was Cuban settled way back, early 1800s, something like that, yeah. It's sort of the cigar capital of the world, yeah. Not for rich, no, people who are poor. It's sort of a havingness to be able to have something like that. And this building they bought, it's an old thing, I don't know, several stories, an old red brick thing built in the 18s or something, yeah. And it's several stories, and it turns out it was the largest cigar factory in the world. Well, fine. But they got it for their classes and the counseling and stuff. So I said, no, the first floor is a museum. Whether it's a whole first floor or the half of the first floor, I don't know, but they got people there showing you how to do the cigar. No, they aren't Scientologists, they're the cigar people. They go into these areas and lift up and help people get their own culture back. That's what they're up to. I didn't know that. I didn't know, I just saw it downloaded. Go find out what they aren't. Yeah, come on. And you're going to like this, though. You go check it out. Go online or go into one of the darn centers and get started, you know? Yeah, because you only have to do a tiny bit. Because, why? Because I wrote it down. Because in doing that, actually you just completely changed your mind from being affected in life to the personal stuff and the government, like the truckers. They're not wild guys, people. There's not anything, it's just truckers. They got the kids there and they're playing and really bad. Yeah. And you can take control. It said right there. It said right here. Yeah. Truckers just did this. They aren't Scientologists. They just said, that's it, I'm doing it. Any being has the potentiality of doing anything to correct anything, anywhere, and he knows it. And what he does every day is a sin of omission, in that he doesn't straighten it all out. That which he could. You see? And that, any case, no matter how honest, in other areas, of course, is living with at this moment. If you can stand the truth, you'll live. If you can't stand the truth, you won't. I just saw Robert F. Kennedy Jr., that's a Democrat family, but he's not. No, the Democrats don't like him. He's a independent, libertarian. And the Republicans like him because he's been giving some talks now. Pretty great talks. I'd known about him along the way, but now he's giving a talk about kind of like the truckers are. Yeah. No one hates. There's no, to say there's no room for hate isn't even the point. There's no need. There really isn't hate between opposing groups. No, there's just layers of crap. It's their layers, but they don't hate when they get back. Yeah. Really. Like the story about when you have opposing nations and the generals of each nation, they hate each other's guts, they're going to kill you. You've read about they're going to kill each other, they're the worst, right? But then if there was an invasion coming from above, shooting down at the planet, they'd be shoulder to shoulder shooting at that thing, right? Yeah. When the seas rise, we're going to handle the floods, right? But boy, everybody gets together then. Suddenly, these other things are not an issue. It's not a Democrat, Republican, Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, Mormon, Hare Krishna, Mooney, Jew. What's the other one? Church of the Later On guys. That's Mormon. I mean, it's nothing like that. I have no idea what Joe Biden's religion is. That's not a religion. That's a presidency. What a load of crap they talk against this golden soul who's doing so many things. And no, I'm not. I've never been a Democrat. No, independent. Yeah, used to be a Republican. I can be honest, Both sides have angels, and both sides maybe have some guys that goof up. Well, fix it. The truckers, you don't know what they are. Every time you leave home or the office or the store, he's right there with you on the road. You don't know what his religion is or his politics. No. Every part of your car you're driving alongside of him arrived in his truck. Every single part. Your clothes, your food, your cell phone. Yep. Everything. Everything. The gasoline. Yep, he's the guy. I have no idea what his religion is, what his politics are. It has nothing to do with that. He just works 8 or 10 hours a day and goes home. Whew. Or he's on the road for a week or two and he comes home. Oh. They just said that's it, and they're peaceful. So there's a desperation to demonize them by the small percent that need to do that. And I like this. See, I didn't know this. Hubbard made a comment. We are each, he's not saying good, bad, right, or wrong. He said we are each the author of our participation in this thing we're in. This social, societal immersement, this societal thing. Life. We jumped in. Okay, good, bad, right, or wrong. We brought some things that are good, maybe not. We jumped in, found some things good, maybe not. Didn't know it, got in a mess. But we're the author of our participation in that. Yeah. And I didn't know this. He pointed out something very subtle. Hubbard says, life is basically a game. That darn thing we jumped in. It's basically a game. This is interesting. Won't sound very friendly, but it is. Basically a game, and a game has 3 parts. He just observed it. My God, go check it out. It has 3 parts, a game. Freedoms, barriers, and purposes. That's this thing right now. If it didn't have barriers, it wouldn't be a game. It'd be like one team showing up for the Super Bowl. Stuff. Got to have an opponent. But let's straighten it out a little. That's all this subtle, gradual thing. This thing about being affected in life. No, yeah, everybody is affected somewhat, whether they know it or not. Little, middle, more or less, this or that, right? And to get the person to become slight, gentle cause. Take it easy. Yeah, there's no big gulp here. No. We kid you about stuff that you didn't know you could do before. You'll find out. Like, we ask you, have you ever heard of someone who did, or have you? You thought of someone and the phone rang, that was him. Ooh, and I kid you about, well, I don't know what you people talked about, but we both know one thing. You didn't use bodies to talk. Oh my God! Oh no, it's just, that was nothing. Yeah, really? Well, until you find out the other things you've been doing. But not as much as you used to, you're right. And you can, again, the rest of you is underneath. Go get it out. Get the rest of you back. I wouldn't, if I were you, let anybody take something of yours. It's called getting the rest of you back. That's what this guy Hubbard did. The guy that worked his guts out. Yeah. I appreciate what he did. The State of Man lectures. Yep. The Congress by Hubbard. January of 1960, Washington, D.C. Yep. Yeah. So before the counseling, unpeeling of life layers, he's saying, wait a minute, anybody, like truckers, they didn't get any of this stuff yet. No, you guys are already operating, you just don't realize it, especially against certain things you didn't know. Anybody right now has the potential of doing anything to correct anything, anywhere. And he knows it. And what he does every day is a sin of omission in that he doesn't straighten it all out. And that, any case, no matter how honest, in other areas, is living with at this moment. If you can stand truth, you'll live. If you can't stand truth, you won't. The trucker said, I'll live. I'm in. Yeah. For us, here they trucked all the stuff for us. Now they got our freedom back. Again, I'll comment. No one saw this coming. No one saw this coming. I mean, no one knew that they were, like, voters are really, in theory, the whole control. Yeah. Well, the truckers. And they say, oh my God, how horrible and criminal, they shut things down. No, no, no. They came in and say, please stop shutting us down. This new invention of testing, let alone vaccinating, when there's nothing wrong with people. If you're sick, well then, my God. Yeah, let's get going. They just finally admitted, didn't they? Ready? The 900,000 deaths in the U.S., only 5.1% were COVID. Yeah. 40,000. Typical flu deaths a year, 30, 40, 50. Which no one ever mentions. Of the 3.1 million deaths in the U.S. every year, 1.1 million to cancer, so many on the highway, 240,000 tuberculosis. No, and not to make them wrong or call them wrong. Oh no, I'm not into that. I'm kind of moderate. Bob Kennedy here. There's a thing on December, let's see, February, a few days ago, what was it? It was an event on the mall. Yeah. A big, defeat the mandates in America homecoming. He gave a talk. He said, yeah, you know what? There was an orchestrated confusion, and they changed the metrics of the death counts, of the death certificates. Yeah, nothing to lose. Okay. And they said, you know, these people are criminals. These big pharma ones, you know, they're the ones that make the vaccine, ones that got us the COVID thing. Yeah. He says they paid $35 billion in criminal fines over the last 10 years. Pfizer, Smith, GlaxoSmithKline, Merck, that kind of thing, yeah. 56,000 children murdered a year from the opioid, that fake thing, more than the Vietnam War. Yeah, so he talks about that. No, the world isn't bad. The world isn't criminal. I'm sure they got a ton of people in there that mean well, work hard, and they probably made a lot of good products. Yeah, let's be fair. We're neutral. We're so good. We're so nice. I only have an hour to tell you about it, So anyway, that's it. So first, see, the trucker said their thing isn't about COVID. It's about kind of straighten things out. And the chief of police of Ottawa quit. Yeah, you know what? We're wrong. Clamping down, you know. Arresting truckers, towing their trucks, taking their licenses away, right? Giving them a criminal record, never get a job again. Freezing their bank accounts. Really? The guy that said that changed his mind. Ford, the chancellor, under Trudeau, said, no, we're not going to do that. The chief of police of Ottawa said, no more. Blah, blah, yeah. Ooh. So first they went after freedom of speech in the First Amendment, right? That's what's been going on about other topics, right? Right. And then freedom of religion, then property rights, you know. And they closed down over 1 million businesses, yeah. Including no due process or compensation, yeah. Jury trials of a peer, yeah. Yeah. Yes. So there you go. So Bob Kennedy gave that talk, and he's been a kind of a guy going along for some time trying to help out. Anyway, we're here to tell you again, the key here is simply and only the big three I told you about. You can do the trucker thing. They did it without any Scientology, so can you. Just get in and do stuff, but find out how you could, part-time, be your little secret, loosen up some of the stuff, very, very part-time and free. A lot of it's free online, yeah. You can take a class online, free. A counseling course. Check it out. With a real live course supervisor to help you through, push help. And you can then counsel the friend counsels you, and it's free. They'd rather have you get the course and free than to go buy the counseling by the hour. They don't have enough counselors to counsel the planet. Okay, so the lower levels are free. The middle level, you have to buy a course. Go and take a course, take a class. This is all standardly done. There's nothing casual. It's simple to do, but it's standardly done. So there you are in the building. You can counsel each other. Free, the middle level. The upper levels, again, you don't have to pay for it by the hour, but you'll want to. I didn't say that they will tell you you'll want to. I said you'll want to. And they must be affordable, or people wouldn't be doing it. So find out what it is. You don't have to do any of that stuff. The little bit, you can buy a book. No. The little bit that you can do online will take your breath away. Review the courses, how to improve conditions of life, handling sources of suppression, like in the submarine means below, press means to push, to hold you down, to squash you, to make less of you. The 12 characteristics of the suppressive person right here in this book. Oh, they're online free. Yeah, handling how to improve conditions in life, handling sources of suppression. Oh man, you won't believe it. And how to remove the barriers to study. Education, the biggest discovery ever in learning things. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. It always says when you open up any book of Hubbard's, any book here, yeah, any book here, it'll say, I'm trying to find it, important note. Any book, important note. This is about any stuff. Never go past a word you do not fully know. The only reason a person ever gives up a study of a book, not because they're dumb, it's because they went past a word or words they didn't know, had a wrong or partial definition of. No. Go back to where you last felt good a page or two, read out pickles. Oh, I felt good at pickles. Right after that, there it will be, if you're not too lazy. And even words like and the can be a little tricky with the wrong context. Anyway, and there you'll find it. It's work. There's no shortcut. It's called the truth. Got to go through it. Look that thing up and you're flying. Yeah. He talks about the 3 barriers to study. A misunderstood word, that's the most common, right? Or too much significance. All this stuff you're being told about, and you build up mass. Ooh, they talk about a tractor, but you need a little toy that'll look like a tractor fender. Okay, I see a tractor, and I got a picture. I got a picture of a tractor, and now I got some reality on it. Yeah, you see, if they just talk about a tractor, you can build a big load of a one-way flow. I'm not giving you what they say. Read what he wrote here. I'm giving you a little comment. So, misunderstood word, right? Lack of too much significance rather than getting a little mass, Like he talks about a pipe organ. Go out and see an organ at the church and see what it is. And get mad. You get time and get mad. Oh, that's what it is. My goodness sake. Get some mass. Because if you don't, you get all the significance and you will build up a physical mass. You'll have headaches, right? Yeah. And the symptoms of having a problem in study, right then. First, a physical thing. Itching, twitching, or nodding out, doping off. They'll say, oh, you just had lunch, so the brain is tied up processing food. No. No. Itching, twitching, and then the second one is fault finding with the subject. Oh, this crummy math teacher anyway, right? And third would be to blow or quit, but society will frown upon you. So you stay in class, memorize answers, even get A's, even a PhD, but not know how to apply it. You don't know what a tractor is or a pipe organ. No. You see, the 3 barriers to study. Get them free online. The kids, you'll just blow it apart. It doesn't tell you what to study. No, that's your thing. But it'll enable the kids in you to no longer be falsely labeled as dumb or unable. Because some of those people that can rattle off this stuff, they don't even know how to apply it. Gee, that sounds familiar. Some of these experts, So the barriers to study, solving educational problems, that's one of the classes. Sources of suppression, oh my God. Life isn't bad, but a small percent are. And you want to know who those guys are and what they're up to, and you can handle them, and they're gone. They're really big gone. Yeah. Really big gone. So, guys, there you go. The big 3, we gave you the quotes. Just go there, go to the place. Go to the place. Yeah. Go to Scientology TV and see what it is. These amazing films, these videos. My goodness sakes. It's just massive. All over the world, these centers, cultures, all over the world. And these beautiful buildings they have. They bought them for nothing. They're junk almost. They fixed them up. That Ybor one took 2.5 years to restore it. Yeah. She's nice. The same old way. Yeah. Yeah. They help cultures get their culture back. It's getting you back. You don't get into Scientology. You can't get into it. What? No, get you out of things you didn't know that you're into if you want to. And they have the how-to and the can-do, yeah. Really. And it's only called a religion, God forbid. No pun intended. Because of the old definition going way back that addresses you as a being rather than a body, a spirit rather than a body. It doesn't introduce. New beliefs doesn't cancel any. I'd never believe the number of religions that exist until I saw the whole bunch of every kind jumping in and grabbing this to add. And it helps them with their own religion that they had, whatever that is. the desperation to demonize. Now, Big Pharma, the ones that got you the opioids and, millions of addicts, they said painkillers weren't addictive. Millions of addicts, billions in profits, customers over cures. The same guy, and they had filed bankruptcy. Well, they got caught. But some are still there, and they sponsor Big Pharma. Some girl was on TV for a while trying to say bad things about Scientology. Well, because Scientology investigated psychiatric drugs. Those are a chemical lobotomy, a chemical straitjacket. Look it up. Check it out. There's an online site, the letter CCHR, Citizens Commission on Human Rights, about a 51-year-old nonprofit. They investigate the harmful acts of psychiatry. And you even have decent, super guys that are psychiatrists. They don't have a method like Hubbard to get you free, but they come forth. They're on video telling, what? Those guys, those psychiatrists, they made up that stuff in their minds, those disorders, so that they can get the insurance money that we all pay for. Then when the insurance money runs out, the poor guy that believed all this, he's dumped on the street. He's both an addict and believing bipolar of the road or something, or whatever they got. They have mathematics disorder, fear of spiders disorder, jet lag disorder, climbing disorder, being a person disorder. No, anyway. And being a child is not one. So check it out. So Big Pharma, one of they sponsored that girl for a while, some former sitcom actress. I kind of thought she's kind of neat, I was saying, oh God, I was a Scientologist all these years until I finally caught on. Boy, that isn't very bright. Took you years to be the expert you are now on. Well, how come the millions? We have millions? If you were several million around the world, it's the fastest growing new one by umpteen. Why aren't they protesting like we see protests going on? What? Why? Go online. Go online, check out Scientology TV or TV network, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Check it out. You'll like it. I'm just here to tell you. Yeah. Tell you to do that. Sorry about the mask. It's COVIDly fashionable. That's not why we're wearing it. Which told you we got smashed a good one. Elective, of course, it wasn't bad karma. Horsing around, no pun intended. Monkeying with a horse. We came to a disagreement. I wasn't very good. Yeah. She's 1,200. I'm 180 pounds. So there you go. Yeah. But it's fun to get banged up, The pain you don't like. It's kind of fun. Be a victim. Anyway, so it takes a year for the dental. And we're saving it. Look, I didn't like the idea of the temporary dentures that they offer. I used to hear stories, nothing but bad about dentures, and looked into these, and that was our choice. So we don't want to be going around with that. And so until it takes a year, we'll be there. And anyway, other parts of the body got hit too. Oh, yeah. Learn your lesson, yeah. So, guys, that's it. Today's the 17th of February. We'll be back with more, maybe later today, about some other things we wanted to share with you. These things here that we have found in the big three we gave you. Roll it back and repeat those. Get those. Just realize what he says. What he says. You see? And get a picture of it. Yeah. Here's this one. Can you see it there? Yeah, you get a picture of it, see? What we're trying to do is rehabilitate. Okay, and then this one here, I love this one. See this one? Can you get it? Right there? It's there, and there, here. There's one. Okay, got that. All right, get that. And then the third one is the definition of a being. We call it a thetan. Theta is the Greek for thought. Thought in Greek is theta. So a thinker would be a thetan. So we call the being the thetan for a reason. Okay. Yeah. So here it is. We're processing the definition. You see? Of what you are. And here he calls it, he says, any thetan. You see, any being, soul, we call it a thetan. Theta, thought in Greek is theta. Thetan is a thinker. That's where it came from. Reason for that. Hubbard. Okay. Good luck. We'll be back. No, there's no luck. No. You'll create. By the way, if you look outside and see people driving around, walking around, right? Anything they have, right? All the things they have, right? They didn't have them before they have them, right? They created those. We lose. And by the way, abilities, he says you've had, if beings were around long ago, any abilities you have them, oh no, you still have. It isn't that you lost any abilities. And believe me, you had, No, it's the willingness because of the layers of life. Go for it, guys. We'll be back. Enjoyed it. Thanks. We'll be back.